Hey everyone, good evening. I'm at Saks Place in Astoria, Queens, actually on the same block as Kaufman Astoria Studios. So Saks is a reference to the owners who are the Sacrimoni brothers, and that's the same Sacrimoni as John Sacrimoni in The Sopranos, the character we all know as Johnny Sax. So I'm going to be trying some different items here, pizza, some red sauce dishes, and I'm also starting off with this bread they put at the table with a little bit of sauce. So I'm starting off with the classic. I was going to get their equivalent to the margarita, but the man behind me, Anthony Sacrimone, recommended that I start off with this one. So this is fresh mozzarella, San Marzano tomato sauce, imported flour, and there's also some Parmesan on top. The bottom of the crust is very firm. You can see it barely bends when I lift it up. Okay, I like how the sauce and the cheese are side by side on this one. The crust is nice and firm on the bottom. And one thing I'm noticing right away is the sauce and the cheese kind of go together as opposed to one really standing out over the other. All right, I'm trying the Oysters Rockefeller. This is something that Anthony suggested, and this is spinach, Parmesan cheese, of course oysters, and anisette. It's definitely creamy. The oysters are pretty firm, and it's also like it has a little bit of a salty finish, just a little bit. So these are the baked clams I'm having. So these are little necks. I love how the herbs mix with the lemon juice, and also the way the oil gets kind of sucked up by the breadcrumbs. So some of the pasta dishes here are handmade, and that's what I'm about to have. So this is Agnolotti, stuffed with porcini mushrooms. And then there's also a veal bolognese sauce that it's in. That's the red sauce you see there. I like how this dish is like half mushroom, half agnolotti. And I'm enjoying the sauce as well. Now I'm trying a classic red sauce dish. So this is the veal parmesan. And take a look on the other side. They got like potatoes and carrots right behind there. So the cutlet is very thin. I have to say, the sauce stands out the most in this, to the point where I almost have to resist the temptation to like not drown it in sauce. Now I'm trying a really special dish. This is Rigatoni Fileto Pomodoro. So this is extra thick rigatoni in pomodoro crushed tomato sauce. And this is what Tony Bennett used to order when he would come to this restaurant in Astoria, which is his borough. Queens is his borough. He lived in Manhattan, but he made the journey out here, and this was the dish that he had. Can't wait to try it. Okay, here's what it looks like. And once again, just like the veal, the sauce really stands out the most. It's not exactly the same. This is pomodoro. I mean, the pasta, it's cooked just right, and not something I would normally order, but I just wanted to see why Tony kept ordering this dish when he could have ordered anything he wanted. And speaking of Tony Bennett, the album that he recorded with Lady Gaga was recorded in the basement beneath where we are now in the restaurant. There's a recording studio there. Okay, those were 6 savory courses, and I'm gonna make an attempt to rank everything I had. I'm gonna start with the pizza here. I can understand why the cast of The Sopranos insisted on having that delivered to Silver Cup Studios so often. I'm gonna say next the veal parmesan because of the sauce. The sauce really stood out on that one. I would love to take a jar of that home. I'm gonna say my third favorite, probably the baked clams. I just love the way those were done. And then I'm gonna say also the agnolini. Those with the mushrooms are real good. I like how they were very generous with the mushrooms on those. It was like half mushrooms, half pasta. After that, I'm gonna say the oysters. That's not something I would have ordered normally. but I did like the way they were prepared. I'm used to eating raw oysters. And finally, Tony Bennett's favorite dish, the rigatoni. It was a simple one, but good one. The pasta was just very, very, very slightly undercooked, kind of like al dente. And I mean, nothing disappointed. If you come here and you could only have one thing, I would definitely do the pizza, but then try something with the red sauce. The red sauce is really the one thing that stands out here the most. Okay, so I did save room for dessert. I'm having the chocolate lava cake. You can see the lava just oozing out of that. The outside is nice and warm and crispy too. I just touched it. And I'm making this a la mode. So by that, I mean I'm adding one of the gelato flavors to it, which in this case is the hazelnut. I'm glad I listened to Anthony. This is so warm, gooey, and then when you add the hazelnut gelato to it, it kind of like balances warm and cold. Thank you very much for watching. If you like this video, please subscribe. I got more trips coming up soon. I'm going to be heading down to Washington, D.C. for the Travel and Adventure Show. I'm also doing a little bit of a road trip up to New Haven, Connecticut, going to Indianapolis in March, Reno, Nevada. Going to be heading out to Reno, Nevada for the first time in April. And I look forward to sharing more videos with you soon.